Welcome again to your From 2500 to Financial Freedom Challenge. We have just finished another week, the week of January 31st. Went 4 for 8, 50%. Increased our percentage from last week, so we're still on the trend of getting where we need to be. Got a net of $360 for the week and $1,000 so far for the month of February. Let's go ahead and get into it, analyze these trades, and see how we got to these results for the week. So we start our analysis on January the 31st. This is Tuesday. I normally trade between Tuesday and Thursday, sometimes Friday. But we can see on our 60-minute time frame that we are still within this channel. So dropping down to a 30-minute time frame, we see the RSI is kind of bounced, currently between like 50 and 60. So just trying to figure out and identify my hypothesis for this morning. So going in between different time frames, trying to identify different levels or potential areas of reversal so we can get in and scalp the market. So you see that this is our most recent level of resistance. So remember that whenever we go to a level of resistance and break through that, it now becomes support. So that RSI is kind of high on this particular time frame, dropping down to the 10-minute, trying to key in on potential levels of reversal. See, we've identified a trend line. So this kind of gives me my first hypothesis for this morning, looking for a buy order, because we were trading off this trend line previously last week, and we want to be able to take a look at this, and we see on our 60-minute time frame that we are at the lower end of the channel. So now what I'm looking for is potentially price to kind of drift down due to RSI being kind of high. See if it bounces off this horizontal line here. There's a potential area of reversal, or seeing if price comes down to this trend line and bounces off of that. So we got the market open, and I just want to see what happens. We have our initial hypothesis for this morning. We just want to allow the market to take place and see what it gives us. So we got the market kind of breaking out here, so we may not end up getting our initial hypothesis or that bearish movement that we were looking for on the open. So you see that price broke through the most recent high. But per usual, we get a lot of volume and a lot of volatility as the market begins to open. So now I move my limit order down to the most recent level of reversal. See if it tests this area again. And the reason that you see me moving my limit order so frequently is just because my stop loss is very tight. My trading style is being a scalper, as you know. So it's very important that I get optimal entry. Is it the easiest way to trade? Not quite, but I also like to challenge myself. And I always pick the harder way of doing things. So ended up getting filled there, was looking for another breakout, got stopped out immediately. Because remember, once again, I need optimal positioning. See, we got some somewhat consolidation up here, but I am looking for a breakout, just given what the MACD is doing and also what RSI is looking like. So we can see here, got in, with my stop loss moving up, that means we have a guaranteed 50 ticks. And we can see price running. Got up to $650, $700 in profit. And with us being here, I was very optimistic about price continuing to run up. But as we can see, ended up getting stopped out for a very small loss. That's also why you have proper trade management, so that you don't end up losing any money on the trade when you do end up having the price running up in your favor. So now we got price moving down, skipped a little ahead. And we see that it broke this area here to your most immediate left. So now I'm looking for this area to become resistance. So I got my sell order in, and what I'm looking at, or what I'm hoping for, is the potential formation of a head and shoulders pattern. So I got my sell order in. We got one long wick to this area here. So looking for price to come back up, potentially get us filled, and look for price to continue to move downward somewhere near that trend line. So I want to be patient. Don't want to get filled and stopped out too quick due to a long wick. So identified a potentially better area for us to enter. And the key thing is here is not to get caught experiencing tilt. Just trying to get in due to FOMO. So it's here about to get filled on my sell order. We had price continuing to move down after touching the horizontal line above. Got some good bearish movement. Got some good bearish movement there. So with all of that volume, I was thinking that price was going to continue to go down towards that trend line there. So feel good about the trade so far. Already locked in another 50 ticks, but ended up moving that back just due to my initial hypothesis. So we see as we constantly moving my stop loss back. I don't want to just end up exiting the trade prematurely due to what ends up being a long wick. So now I'm too close to my stop loss. Kind of in a bind here. I don't want to move my stop loss too far back and end up losing money. And I had almost $1,000 in the trade. But ended up getting only like $200 here. So I decided to exit for the day. You can see that price is kind of moving sideways, so that's not pretty optimal for the way that I trade. And the lesson that I learned here that you should take from this is to take money as it is made readily available to me. You see that I lost my first trade just due to poor entry, but my other two trades ended up with $700 in profit, and unrealized profit, $1,000 in unrealized profit. So take money off the table, man. Don't just leave it sitting there, because you never know what can possibly happen. You see that a day that could have been $1,700 turned into actual loss. So take money off the table, man, when you see it. Put it in your pocket. So we go on to Wednesday, February the 1st. You can see price moved and jumped up, which was our initial hypothesis from the day previous. We were looking for it to bounce down, go down to the trend line, and continue moving forward inside of this channel. Now we're just sitting back, analyzing, trying to figure out exactly what is our play for today. Drop it down to the 10-minute time frame, trying to see exactly what's going on. Now the 30-minute. You see that we're in the channel, in the middle of the channel, so that's kind of hard for us to kind of figure out which side we want to play on, because there's a lot of room either way that the movement can go today. So just trying to identify levels here. We see that this level was touched 3 times. So this can be a potential supply or demand level for us. Also identifying this trend line here. So just trying to give us an edge today. See exactly what's going on. Because remember, we are only trading in the first 30 minutes of the day. I don't be here trading all day, or all morning rather. It's really not what I'm trying to do. Get in, get out. So we got this trend line here, trying to identify some other horizontal potential areas of support and resistance. So that's what all of these white lines are. Just trying to figure out potential areas where price can potentially reverse. So now we have our hypothesis for today. We're looking to see if price starts bearish. You want to see if it goes down to this trend line here and bounces off and continue to move forward, or if it goes down to that horizontal line that we just identified. So remember that we're in the middle of a channel, so price can break out either way and just start swinging with lots of volatility. We also see that the distance in which price has moved is kind of slowed down. We came off a quite bullish move, so volatility is kind of slowing down. The price is just moving back and forth, but not quite as much. So we got price opening. Got my limit order in here below the trend line just to see what happens. Want to see if it bounces off the trend line or if it comes down to this area, to the area which you will see is the most recent level of newly created support. So I always like to go back in between time frames just to make sure that I'm still working with the larger perspective. I don't want to get too hung up on the 1 minute time frame or the 5 minute time frame. We're trading inside of a larger perspective. So you see here we are breaking below the trend line, and now I'm identifying this level of support here. So I see we got this long wick there, so I don't want to get in too early and price end up blowing through this area. But we do got a little bit of back and forth. So we break slightly below for a few ticks. Got another long wick there. So now I've identified my edge. I'm looking for this to be a potential area of reversal. So we see it immediately got 50 ticks, I'm sorry. So every time you see that stop loss move up, that's an additional 50 ticks that price has moved in the direction of the trade. So being that this is a buy order, we got 50 ticks. My stop loss immediately moved up to break even. So once again, don't want to get stopped out prematurely if price do continue to move up. Want it to be, stop loss to be below the long wick there. But now we're breaking above this trend line. So I'm in a good position. I feel really good about the trade thus far. Move my stop loss up just to lock in some more profit. If we want to see exactly where price continues to move up. We also have RSI turning around for us as well after bouncing off about 32. Got some more movement up. Just want to see exactly how far this can take us. Got money locked in. It's already starting out to be a good morning. So now I just want to have proper trade management and be patient. stop loss at the trend line because I do want to lock in some profit, just given what happened yesterday. Had upwards of $1,000 in unrealized profit and left all of that on the goddamn table. So I want to make sure that I do continue to increase my balance so I can scale up, start adding more contracts, start trading a little more, and take a little bit more profit. The goal is always to increase your account balance. So we don't always need to get these big, large trades of $2,000. We just add on 500, add on 600 until we can get where we want to go. So I stopped out there. And we can see that we have $735 in profit. I think that's a pretty good day thus far. So we see that price moving forward in the day. Price blew through that next level, continue to move up. So we kind of exit the market prematurely. But that's largely in part due to just wanting to take me off the table, not being as risky as normal. Because if I would have left my stop loss near entry point, we would have got all of this today. You can see I stayed in the market for quite a while, looking for a sell order now, just looking for another trade. But I think that this was just me being somewhat greedy because I was able to lock in profit after going on somewhat of a losing streak. But we can see that price is kind of moving back and forth, not really picking a direction, because remember that we're also in the larger perspective inside or the middle of a trading channel. So it kind of gives us our lesson for today, or for this day, is you want to hold yourself accountable and trust your rules. You gave yourself rules because you know yourself, trust yourself. When I say hold yourself accountable, I had to hold myself accountable and not just give in to this tilt of these feelings. One of my rules is that when price is trading within a range, I need to get out. There's too much consolidation. That's not optimal. I need to be able to see price and follow a trend. So I need to trust myself, hold myself accountable, and trust your rules. So now we are Thursday, February the 2nd. We see that we broke above this channel here. So now I'm cleaning up my chart a little bit, moving all of this unnecessary stuff. And I also like to leave this. But we see we backing out to the daily time frame. So just giving you some market perspective. Remember that the NQ futures followed the NASDAQ. So when we talk about the economy and a recession and so forth, breaking above that trend line is very important for the market. Some people believe that this is us exiting or having a soft landing, getting out of a recession. But I think that we may continue to move downward. We do have what is called bear trap. So breaking above this trend line, we just want to see exactly what happens over the next few days. But back to us, looking at the 5-minute time frame, we see that price had quite a run, but we don't have as much volatility moving forward. So I always remember that after we have a nice run, whether that's bullish or bearish, there's always consolidation that happens afterwards. So my hypothesis this morning is that we think that price is going to continue to move up after some consolidation, but we're looking for an area for it to come down and allow us to get in on a reversal. So just identifying potential areas of newly created support. So as the market opens, we see we got that long wick there. And one thing to also be mindful of, even though we believe that the market may continue to move up in the longer perspective, just for us today, due to all of this price slowing down after this bullish movement, price has to kind of correct itself, if you will. So I do expect a slight pullback. So since we had such bullish movement early in the morning, now I'm looking forward to see if we can get somewhat of a pullback before continuing to move up. So you can remember that you can make money on either side of the market. If I wanted to, if I was one of the traders that stay in the market all day and trade at 12, I would have looked for a different position. Would have waited for the pullback, and I would have rode the market continuing in the morning. But we can see here, price is kind of slowing down, looking for to hit in a sell order here. So I ended up getting filled. Hoping price that continues to move down towards one of these areas of newly created support. So locked in some money. Got my stop loss near break even. So I was hoping that we can get a lot more volume and we just ride this down. So you see that was not the case. Ended up locking in minimal money, I think like $100. So now we have price approaching this newly created high for the day. And I'm looking for a breakout. I'm looking for price to continue to move up. There's a lot of bullish sentiment in the market. Had earnings for Meta, and they increased by 20% on this day. Also, Google did the same, not 20%, but had a great run. So the sentiment is very bullish. So looking for a breakout here. But ended up getting stopped out. As you can see, price moved down. So what I'm looking for now is a potential creation of a head and shoulders pattern. Potentially looking for price to come back up to this horizontal line here. And maybe get in and look for price to continue to trend down towards the trend line that we created in our 30-minute time frame. So that larger trend that we exited outside of. So being patient, allowing price to come to me, giving the market my price and allowing it to either accept it, we just gotta find another trade. But we did have some bearish movement there. Ended up getting filled. I accepted the risk, so moved my stop loss back a little bit because I didn't want to get stopped out prematurely. Just given we had those long wicks and we also had a doji candle formed there. So now we're just patient, allowing the trade to play out. Move my stop loss back because I was optimistic about price continuing to move lower and going through this level here. But what we see is that price ended up reversing here. So this was that pullback that I was looking forward to before price continued to move forward for the remainder of the day. I should have taken profit here, because after this pullback to this level, price continued to move forward, but ended up getting stopped out for a profit of $265 for the day. Decided to leave because now I'm over trading. But we do need to be mindful that the market lets us keep track of your wins and not your dollars. The reason that is because inevitably, if you are placing good trades, winning, the money will come. So don't just keep track I made $200 today. That's not enough. Never set a money target. Set a win target. The goal is to increase our win percentage. And we're doing that so far. The goal is to get to 90%. So that concludes week 2 of our challenge. Finished stocks with 50% win percentage, $360 for the week, $1,000 for the month of February thus far. So stay right where you are, man. Gonna get to day 45. While you're here, make sure you like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you're here next time. We're analyzing our daily trades with danDeiar Investments. But until then, stay blessed and be safe.